It feels like financial freedom isn't just a dream these days. It's becoming like a real focus for so many of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're diving headfirst into something that's been generating a bit of buzz, Bitcoin Platinum University and their upcoming Bitcoin Platinum DX.
Right, their decentralized exchange.
Yeah, exactly. And their BPD-COIN loyalty rewards program that goes with it.
Exactly. We've sifted through the information provided by Bitcoin Platinum University, mainly, website excerpts, to really get to the heart of what they're proposing.
Okay.
Our mission today is simple. Just pull out the crucial details so you can understand what this whole initiative is about and, well, what potential it might hold.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The core promise of Bitcoin Platinum DX.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat, it's pretty bold, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They're calling it a game-changing decentralized exchange. A D built to empower everyone. Individuals, entrepreneurs, even big businesses.
Yeah, hitting all the demographics there.
And they're really emphasizing power, privacy, and performance. Sounds like they're trying to tick all the boxes people look for in crypto.
That's right. And they're positioning themselves as, more than just another startup popping up.
Right.
The language emphasizes transparency, community, saying it's a fully transparent, community-driven platform.
That community angle is big in blockchain.
Oh, yeah. This idea of shared ownership, shared direction. It resonates.
And they're not shy about who's behind it either, are they?
No, they specifically mention being created by real developers with a strong vision and backed by a growing community.
Which feels like a direct counter to, some of the anonymous projects out there.
Exactly. And their stated goals are quite clear, too. Faster transactions, full user control, and robust security protocols.
All aimed at, like they say, breaking barriers in crypto trading. So standard goals, but important ones.
Absolutely. What's interesting here is their approach to building early support. They've launched this loyalty rewards program, which they're framing as a limited time opportunity for early backers to lock in free BPD-COIN rewards.
BPD coins.
Yeah.
So that's their own token, like a loyalty token.
Seems like it, yeah. Based on the context, it's the native loyalty reward token for this whole ecosystem. Now, loyalty programs aren't exactly new.
No.
But the mechanism they're using is kind of specific.
Yeah, I saw that. To reserve your spot and those potential free coins, the BPD coin, they're asking for a fully refundable $1 deposit. I mean, $1, it's a pretty low barrier to entry, right?
Precisely. And their reasoning behind it is interesting, strategically speaking.
How so?
Well, they say it helps them measure interest and scale efficiently before our Kickstarter campaign officially launches. So it gives them a real number,
But tangible metric, like how many people are actually willing to click a button and put down a buck?
Exactly. A way to gauge potential user adoption before maybe a bigger public offering or campaign.
And they also mention it helps reduce business risk because they can make more informed decisions about resource allocation and rollout.
Right. That $1, while tiny for one person, could add up to some useful data for them. Shows the level of enthusiasm, the potential community size.
Plus, they're really, really hammering home that it's fully refundable, no strings attached.
Yeah, trying to ease any hesitation there for sure.
Okay, so what about these rewards? They have tiers, right?
They do. Let's look at these loyalty reward tiers. 3 levels, each offering a different amount of BPD coin.
Okay.
Tier 1, the personal plan, gets you 1,000 BPD coin. They say it's ideal for solo traders and crypto newcomers.
So aiming for the individual user, maybe someone just starting out with DEX.
Seems like it. Then you've got Tier 2, the small business plan. That offers 2,000 BPD coin.
And who's that for?
Described as perfect for startups and small enterprises wanting more tools and trading flexibility. So thinking about how a DEX could work for smaller companies.
Interesting. And the top tier?
Tier 3 is the big business plan. 3,000 BPD coin, tailored for large businesses, investors, or institutions looking for serious scalability.
Wow, so they're really trying to cover the whole spectrum, from newbie traders to institutions.
Yeah, this tiered approach lets them target different potential users. And, this tiered reward system might incentivize different levels of commitment later on.
What stands out to me is how clear they are about the promise. They say these rewards are guaranteed for anyone who reserves a spot with $1 and follows through with a planned purchase once we go live. That word guaranteed is pretty strong, especially in crypto.
It is. And it ties right into how they're trying to deal with potential skepticism.
Right, because let's face it, there's a lot of noise out there.
They acknowledge that directly. They mention the scams and false promises that, unfortunately, are part of the landscape.
So how do they say they're different?
Well, they hit a few key points. First, they claim to be backed by a real team with verifiable history.
Okay, so not anonymous founders. That's potentially a big trust factor for some people.
Yeah,
Knowing who's actually building it.
definitely. They also talk about being guided by a detailed white paper, business model, and tokenomics.
And are those available?
They suggest they are, or will be. Providing that level of documentation is pretty crucial for anyone doing serious due diligence, understand the tech, the economics.
Absolutely. You need that.
And they keep coming back to this core commitment: privacy, freedom, and user control, which are, the rallying cries for a lot of the DeFi movement.
The core ideas that make DXs different from, say, Coinbase or Binance.
Exactly. Centralized versus decentralized.
They also make a big point about transparency being their promise.
Yeah, and beyond just saying they have a white paper, they're offering a sneak preview of the Bitcoin Platinum DX software
Oh, really? To who?
to select individuals and potential investors. So, not wide open yet, but an interesting move, giving some early access.
Is there a catch?
Well, yeah, there's a condition. Anyone wanting that sneak peek has to sign a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA.
Okay, standard practice to protect their IP before a full launch.
Pretty standard, yeah. And they even give out an email address, support@bitcoin-platinum.com, for people interested in the preview. Shows they're willing to engage directly.
So if we zoom out,
Yeah.
connect the dots, their big vision seems to be aligning with this whole fintech movement that believes crypto should be fair, accessible, and decentralized.
That's not great.
And the message is basically, get in early, support our vision of a fair DEX, and we'll reward you with this BPD coin.
Exactly. The call to action is clear. Reserve your spot now and claim your loyalty rewards before it's too late, creating that sense of urgency.
Brand marketing, yeah.
Now, let's shift gears just a little bit. The Bitcoin Platinum University name itself, it suggests more than just a trading platform, right?
Yeah, definitely implies education.
And the website excerpts hint at that. It seems like they're aiming to build an educational ecosystem alongside the DEX.
Okay, what does that look like?
Well, the site navigation mentions a few things. BPU courses, so structured learning. A BPU community, maybe a forum or group. BCP Market could be anything, really, maybe related tools. And BCP software hinting at maybe other products down the line.
Interesting. So a broader plan.
Seems like it. And the testimonials they included also give us a feel for this university side.
Right. I saw those. There was one from David Thompson, a beginner crypto enthusiast.
Yeah, he talks about beginner-friendly lessons, so catering to newcomers.
Then there was Sophia Lee, a blockchain developer and crypto enthusiast.
Right. She highlights modules on blockchain, tech, and DeFi, so maybe more advanced technical content, too.
Seems like it. And Marcus Rivera, an advanced trader and investor, claimed he found immense value.
And Jasmine Patel, an aspiring crypto trader, specifically mentioned a module on fundamental and technical analysis.
So these testimonials, even though they're just, selected quotes,
Anecdotal.
they suggest they're trying to offer education for different levels, from absolute beginners to experienced traders.
Which could be smart, right? Create a pipeline. People learn on their platform, then maybe trade on their DX, keep users within their ecosystem.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. Key takeaways.
Go for it.
Bitcoin Platinum DX is positioning itself as this transparent, community-driven, decentralized exchange. They have this loyalty program using their BPD-COIN.
Right.
You get in early with a refundable $1 deposit, and if you buy a plan later, you get guaranteed coins.
Right. Emphasizing their real team, detailed plans, user control, all aimed at building trust.
And layered on top is this Bitcoin Platinum University idea, aiming to educate users from beginner to advanced.
Potentially creating a whole ecosystem, not just a place to trade.
So for you, the listener, maybe you're thinking about the pros and cons of getting involved in something like this early on.
Especially something combining trading with education. This whole DeFi space keeps changing so fast. And platforms that really focus on being transparent, involving the community, and actually teaching their users, well, they could play a pretty big role going forward.
So here's a final thought to chew on. If a project could actually deliver on being a truly community-driven, transparent DX and successfully integrate comprehensive education, covering everything from basics to advanced strategies, what would that mean?
Yeah, what impact would that have on the whole crypto landscape?
Could that model DX plus integrated education become the new standard for projects trying to get real long-term adoption and, smarter users?
Definitely something to think about as you watch this space evolve.